Something strange is going on in Cleveland. The Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is suddenly refusing to talk about one man, Joe Flacco. And it's not just silence, it's awkward, uncomfortable silence. Because right now, Joe Flacco, the same quarterback Cleveland gave up on, is lighting up the NFL, but he's doing it for their biggest rival, the Cincinnati Bengals. When reporters asked Kevin Stefanski about Joe Flacco's incredible success in Cincinnati, he shut it down instantly. No comparison, no reflection. Just a tight-lipped response that said everything without saying a word. Stefanski simply refused to answer any question about Flacco's performance. He told reporters, "I don't really have a comment on Joe or any players on other teams. I don't think it's appropriate." But fans saw right through that answer. It wasn't about being polite. It was about avoiding the reality that Joe Flacco has completely turned things around the moment he left Cleveland. The Browns made a controversial decision when they traded the 40-year-old Super Bowl winner to the Bengals. Many questioned why they'd ever send him to a division rival, but the Browns did it anyway. And since that trade, Flacco has made Cleveland look foolish. In his short time with the Browns, Flacco completed only 58% of his passes, throwing for just over 800 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in 4 games. It wasn't impressive. It looked like his career was fading. But once he put on that Bengals jersey, everything changed. In just 4 starts for Cincinnati, Joe Flacco has thrown for over 1,200 yards, with 11 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. His completion rate jumped to nearly 65%. And last week, he put up one of the most dominant performances of the season. 470 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a masterclass in deep ball accuracy as both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins crossed the 100-yard mark. It was the kind of game that made everyone ask the same question: what went wrong in Cleveland? When a reporter brought that question to Kevin Stefanski, hoping for some insight, he completely dodged it. No comment, no analysis, just silence. But that silence spoke volumes about the pressure Stefanski is under. The Browns' offense has been a complete mess this season, inconsistent, inefficient, and painfully limited. Outside of rookie tight end Harold Fannin Jr., the Browns have had almost no reliable targets. In fact, not a single wide receiver has reached 100 receiving yards in a game this year. Think about that. An entire season, and not one wideout has crossed the century mark. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco, the man they traded away, is thriving. Fans are furious, wondering if the Browns misjudged his talent or simply failed to build the right offense around him, and it's hard to argue with them. Stefanski and the Browns made that trade in part to give rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel more playing time, hoping to evaluate their future. But instead of a fresh start, they've ended up with an even deeper mess. Now the pressure is mounting. Kevin Stefanski has already made some desperate moves to save his season, including handing over play-calling duties to offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, hoping it might reignite the offense. And this week, there's one glimmer of hope: the return of wide receiver Cedric Tillman. Tillman, who's been out for 4 games with a hamstring injury, is finally back, and for Cleveland, that's massive. Stefanski praised him after practice, saying, "I thought Ced looks really good. He's worked very hard in his rehab, so it looks like he'll be good to go." Tillman himself admitted that sitting out was frustrating. "It's tough watching. I want to help the team out, but I'm back now and going to do everything I can to stay healthy," he said with determination. Before his injury, Tillman had just 10 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. But here's the shocking part. Those 2 scores are the only receiving touchdowns by a Browns wide receiver this entire season. Despite playing just 4 games, Tillman still ranks near the top of Cleveland's receiving stats, which tells you everything about how poor this offense has been. The Browns currently sit near the bottom of the league, 29th in passing yards per game and dead last in yards per play. Tillman's size, 6'3", 215 pounds, gives him a physical edge this team desperately needs. The Browns' smaller receivers have struggled all year to win contested catches, and Tillman might be the spark that changes that. But whether that's enough to save Kevin Stefanski's job is another story entirely. Because every week that Joe Flacco keeps dominating for Cincinnati, the pressure in Cleveland grows heavier. The more touchdowns Flacco throws in orange and black, the worse Stefanski's silence sounds in brown and orange. Kevin Stefanski can dodge the questions for now, but the reality is catching up fast. Browns fans aren't forgetting how they let a veteran Super Bowl champion walk away, only to watch him torch defenses for their rival. And unless Cedric Tillman's return magically revives this broken offense, Cleveland might be facing more than just another disappointing season. They could be facing the end of Kevin Stefanski's era. Because in football, silence isn't strength. Sometimes it's the sound of a coach running out of answers.